Okay, so I'm looking at this diagram and I'm trying to figure out what is the value of my unknown, which is A. Initially, yes.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon.
So, ma'am, I think that A is um equal to 180 degrees
Mm-hmm.
minus
Mm-hmm.
wait minus um 20 degrees
Mm-hmm.
m- minus 90 degrees, ma'am. Wait. And then the reason is
Mm-hmm.
supplementary angles equal 180.
Okay. So what I want you to be super careful of when using supplementary angles. Supplementary angles only refers to two angles that add up to 180 degrees. Over here, there are three angles that add up to 180 degrees. Do you see that? Immediately?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So I know your reason is halfway correct, but the only reason it's somewhat incorrect is because supplementary angles refers to two angles that add up to 180 degrees. Over here we have three angles. So your teacher might mark you correct if you say supplementary angles. But to be safe, it's always the safer option to just say angles on a straight line. Does that make sense?
So we're gonna say 100. Wait, it's gonna to equal to 130 degrees.
Try again.
70 degrees, ma'am.
Oh, 100%. Okay. And that is it. Are we done?
Then we're gonna say therefore A is equal to 70 degrees.
Okay. You didn't have to do that just by having your answer here. That was correct, but you 100% can conclude if you would like. And now that is going to be the final answer. And now are we done?
Yes, ma'am.
100% we are. So that's 1 point for the girls.
Thank you, ma'am.
Boys, I don't see hands up, but they should be. Um, let's see whose hand is up next. So power 100%. Okay, it's Andile.
Hello, ma'am. And
Hi.
everyone. So, ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm not completely on the statement part, but I
Mm-hmm.
know the reason. The reason is going to be the two opposite interior angles are equals to the exterior angle.
Mm-hmm. So when we add these two, they should equal
Yes.
this. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, ma'am, what I did was I said B plus B is equals to 130, which gave me 2B is
Mm-hmm.
equals to 130.
Mm-hmm.
Divide both sides by 2
Mm-hmm.
because we want B, and we're going to cross multiply. So B is going to be equals to 6, no, 150, 30, 65.
65 degrees. And do you remember what the reason is?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
It's exterior angles, or I'm guessing.
Exterior angle, not just of anything, but of a
This triangle.
triangle.
Ma'am,
100.
is it fine when you say the two opposite exterior angles are equal? The two opposite interior angles are equals to the exterior angles, and just make that your reason?
It depends on your teacher. Some teachers are super strict with your reasons. And I know it seems like they're doing it to be mean and they're just super strict, but actually it's helping you, right? Because now you might think, ah, geometry is not that bad. But when you get to your higher grades, if you're taking maths and you get to grade 10, 11, and 12, you're going to waste so much time writing out full like sentences as your reasons. So some teachers in the lower grades are super strict that you have to use the exact shorthand version of the reason. And they're doing it out of love because they're trying to help you in your higher grades. Because let's rather lose marks in grade 9 than in grade 12, right?
Yes,
So, or let's rather lose marks in grade 8 than in grade 10. So that's what some teachers do. So it depends on your teacher. But the safe option is to just go ahead and memorize your reasons. And it's not going to be for nothing because you're going to use these exact same reasons all the way up until matric if you take maths. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Cool. So that's that. So yeah, that's just a teacher dependent thing. Some teachers give the marks, some teachers do not. So yeah, that's that. Thank you for answering it, Tandile. Entle, what is your question? Why did we divide 2b and 130 by 2? Okay, so let's think back to when we looked at equations, right? Remember, Entle, I'm asking you specifically. I hope you don't feel like I'm singling you out, but I'm asking you specifically, what is the goal of an equation? What's my end goal? What's the big picture of an equation? What am I trying to do in an equation? Okay, so that is exactly why I was asking, because that's where there's always so much confusion, right? You must keep your end goal in mind. And we actually, I think, did this yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, Tuesday. So I'm going to go back to Tuesday's lesson super quick. Remember, the goal of an equation is to get the variable by itself on one side. So, Entle, whenever you're solving equations, I want you to keep this in mind always. Our goal is to get the variable by itself. And how? Let me just shorten all of this. So, how do we get the variable by itself? Well, we use inverse operations. Okay. So I want you to tell me, Intle, if I have something like 2b, what's the operation that is in between here? Do you know? Let me know if you know what the operation is in between here. And when I say operation, I mean plus, minus, multiplication, division. %. It is multiplication. Now remember, and I'm going to go back. So remember now, we want to get this variable, which is b, by itself. And the way that I do that is I use inverse operations. Right now, this is sitting as 2 times b equals 130. And remember, with multiplication, we can swap multiplication around. So you can even look at this as b times 2 equals 130. Now, I want to get b by itself. So the way that I do that is with inverse operations, and you've already told me my inverse operation is division. And so I divided so that my multiplication and my division by 2 could cancel each other out. And because we're dealing with an equation, what we did on the one side, we had to do on the other side. So that is why I had to also divide the other side by 2. And that is what led us to our answer, where now b is by itself, and 130 degrees divided by 2 is going to give me 65 degrees. Entle, does that make sense? Pleasure. Okay, we're looking at a slightly more complex one. We have 60 minus 40 as this one angle, and we have 2c minus 20 as this angle. Let us see who wants to answer. Itandile, you wanna try, or did you have a question?
I want to try, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, so, ma'am, what we do is, okay, oh, okay, 6c minus 40. Okay, ma'am, my reason, can I please start with the reason?
Mm-hmm.
So, my reason, ma'am, is alternate angles are equal.
Alternate angles are equal. Okay.
And 6c minus 40 is equals to 2c minus 20.
Okay. Just so that we're all following, Itandile, I want to ask you what letter. Remember, we have the F, the U, and the N when we're
Yes,
dealing with
ma'am.
our parallel lines. What letter is alternate angles?
Oh no, ma'am. Okay, so it's co-interior angles
There you
are
go.
equal. And then, okay, and then, ma'am,
No.
our statement is
I have another
6.
question for you. So we have the F, we have the U, and we have the N. You've basically already told me this is called alternate angles. These are called co-interior angles, and these are called corresponding angles. Now, what do we know about corresponding angles, Itandile?
That, ma'am, uh, the okay, um, the bottom of the F,
Mm-hmm.
the bottom line of the first F is equals to the bottom line in the F,
Mm-hmm.
and the top, and then the top corner of the F is equals to the inside. Yes, ma'am. But then, yeah, and then the alternate angles are the ones, are the corners. Let me say, ma'am, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the alternate angles, it's just the corners of the Z or N.
But what do we know about these angles? Are they equal? Do they add to 180? Do they add to 360?
Ma'am, the
Mm-hmm.
corresponding angles are equal, and then
Mm-hmm.
the co-interior is equals to 180, and the alternate is equal.
100%. And when we look at my co-interior angles, it creates this U,
Yes, ma'am.
and the angles that are affected are those angles created on the inside of my U. Does
Yes,
that
ma'am.
make sense? So
Yes, ma'am.
just so everybody is again following, what Itandile is saying is she's saying, okay, these are parallel lines. There's a transversal. Remember what a transversal is? It's just a line that is cutting two parallel lines. There's a transversal over here, and it's creating a U. And because there's a U, we know this angle is going to be equal to this. Nope, not going to be equal. This angle plus this angle is going to be equal to 180 degrees. So, Itanila, be careful because you told me that they were equal and they're not. When you add them, they are equal to 180. So now give me what your statement is going to be.
So, ma'am, my statement is going to be 6c minus 40 plus 2c minus 20 is equals to 180 degrees.
20 equals, yes, that's correct.
Then, ma'am, we are going to say 6c plus 2c minus 60 is equals to 180 degrees. Then, ma'am, should I continue?
Mm-hmm.
6 plus 2, which is going to be 8c. Then we're going to transpose negative 60 to 180. So it's going to be 8c is equals to 180 degrees plus, oh no. Okay, okay. Plus 60 degrees. And so that's going to be equals to Oh, wow.
Don't stress. Take your time.
So 8C is equals to 240 degrees. Then we divide both sides by 8, and therefore C is equals to 30
Thank,
degrees.
thank you very much. Are we done?
Yes, ma'am, because I have my reason.
What are you missing, Itandile?
What am I missing, ma'am?
So far, you've gotten 2 out of 3 marks.
What am I missing? Ma'am, I don't know what I'm missing.
Look at what I'm drawing in.
Oh, AB is parallel to CD.
There you go. You knew what you were missing. You just forgot about it.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Sorry.
This is super, super important. Itandile, when you're writing your test, which, okay, you've already done. But
Yes,
any
ma'am.
tests you write in the future, I want you
Yes,
to
ma'am.
think of me asking you, are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? And do not
Yeah,
let yourself
ma'am.
get caught.
I submitted my geometry text paper, and the invigilator said it didn't say you should have a reason. But in my head, I was thinking, "Are you done? Are you done? Are you done with all my reasons?"
I am glad. So, guys, whenever we use these fun angles, so we call these the fun angles, whenever we use them, these rules only work when there are parallel lines. So if we use the reason, we must say which lines are parallel, because these lines that are parallel are the lines that allow my reason to work. So it's essentially part of my reason. Okay. So that is that. Use some reactions. Let me know that we all followed that one. There we go. Tando. I see Tando has joined. Hi, Tando. Tando, you've been very quiet. Okay. Now to our favorite topic.
Ma'am, it's not my favorite topic.
I know everybody hates it. That's why I'm saying it's our favorite topic. Um, everybody hates it because we have to memorize our properties of quads. Okay, so we have some options. So at least it's not so bad. They've given us options. We can use a square, a parallelogram, a kite, or a trapezium to answer these questions. Okay. Now they've given us properties, and we need to say which of the shapes this is going to be. Now, I want you guys to quickly try and remember your properties of each of these quads. So remember, we have a square that looks like that, and actually, we can't rely on myself. So let's add in a square up there. Then we want a parallelogram, which we can add over there. A kite. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a kite like this, but this is more a diamond right now, but it's fine. This is a kite. And then we have a trapezium, which they don't have a shape for, so we'll have to rely on my drawing skills. Well, let's actually do this. Oh, sorry, guys. Anyways, while I'm doing this, you guys should be thinking back to your properties of these shapes. So, okay. And so that is a trapezium. Okay. So let's see. Brie has some answers for us. Let's read A first. A is a shape that has two pairs of parallel sides and corners of 90 degrees. Now, you're saying rectangle, which you're not wrong. But remember, we have to pick from our options here. So if we had to pick from our options, which one do we know has corners of 90 degrees and two pairs of parallel sides? It is a square. Okay. So this is a square. Now let's think back on our properties. A square has two pairs of parallel sides, but so does a parallelogram. Okay. Um, my kite does not have any parallel sides, but my trapezium has one pair. So immediately, just by process of elimination, a kite couldn't be it, and a trapezium couldn't be it because they only have one pair of parallel sides. Now, between my square and my parallelogram, we had to think which one has corners of 90 degrees. And we know a parallelogram does not, so that left us with a square. We're looking at the next one. Oh, didn't mean to. We're looking at the next one. And the next one is the shape has one pair of parallel sides. What are we going to say over there? So Liacho has gotten half a point for the boys, only half a point because he didn't actually speak. So half a point for the boys because this is a trapezium. Um, so a trapezium only has one pair of parallel sides. Guys, if ever you think of something with one pair of parallel sides, you should think of a trapezium because most of my other shapes have two pairs of parallel sides. Think of a square, think of a parallelogram, think of a rhombus, think of a what is the other one that I was going to say now? Square, a rectangle. All of those have two pairs of parallel sides. My trapezium is really the only one that we learn about that has only one pair. So that is a trapezium. I saw hands. Tyra, do you want to answer the next one?
No, ma'am, I want to ask a question about the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, how is it a square? Because a square has all corners 90 degrees.
So that's exactly what our question was asking us. So they gave us two properties basically. They asked us to find a shape that has two pairs of parallel sides and corners of 90 degrees. So in my square, all of my corners are 90 degrees. And so it fit that property. Does that make sense or did I not answer your question
Yes,
right?
I get it, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So that one was that. Itandile, did you have a question or did you want to answer?
Ma'am, this is kind of terrible, but ma'am, I want to answer D.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, on the bisect, on the one dimension is bisected. Ma'am, I thought of a kite.
That is correct. One diagonal is bisected. So this would give us a kite. If you think about what a kite looks like, boom, bam. There's one long diagonal and then there's a short diagonal. My long diagonal, we can see this part here, up here, is shorter than this longer part. So that diagonal is not bisected, but there is one diagonal that is bisected, and that is my short diagonal. Okay, so that would be a kite. So that was correct. Thank you, Itandile. E Liacho is saying is a square, and he is correct. I think that was an easy one.
Yes, ma'am. Square, ma'am. So 2 points for the boys.
Okay,
This
thanks
just
for
said
talking,
Megan Liacho
Liacho.
lives.
A square, Liacho has racked up some points for his team. And then we have a shape has one pair of opposite angles equal.
It's a parallelogram.
But a parallelogram has two pairs. This angle, this pair of angles is equal, and this pair of angles are equal. So a parallelogram has two pairs of opposite angles. A square also has two because they're all 90, so my opposite angles are all equal to each other. So my parallelogram is out, my square is out. We're now looking at a kite and we are looking at a trapezium. And the answer is a kite. Okay, so we actually didn't even use a parallelogram in any of these. The answer is a kite. If you think about, again, a kite over here, one pair of opposite angles equal. It's this pair over here. These angles are equal to each other. If you have a look at this angle here is bigger than this angle at the bottom. So these opposite angles are not equal. But the ones on our sides, these are equal. Okay, use some reactions. Let me know. Did we kind of follow what happened here? If you didn't, unfortunately, this is a thing you're going to have to memorize. You have to memorize your properties of quads. And that is just an unfortunate truth. Okay, but that's that. Let's move on into our brain break. We are doing one must stay. So we have, hi, Shady. Shady, you missed your story. You broke your arm. Crazy. You and Tyra broke your arm. Um, I can't imagine. Anyways, Liaho, yes.
Ma'am, I'll do the next one, ma'am. I'll do the next one.
Okay. Why don't you want to do this one?
No, ma'am, I'm tired of food, ma'am. I feel like I'm always doing food topics.
I was literally just thinking that. I was thinking, now I'm going to check what Liaho keeps and then like, he's going to eat that and pop forever.
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, Liaho, next one. Itandile, what are you keeping?
Ma'am, I'm keeping beef. I love beef. I love beef. Ma'am, if there wasn't beef, I was gonna basically pick pork, but then there's no pork here. So
Oh
after
yeah, I
picking
don't know why I
beef.
didn't include that.
Ma'am, no one likes seafood. We're South
What?
Africans. Who likes seafood?
Itandile, I think you're crazy.
I'm not crazy, ma'am.
Personally, I think you're crazy. I don't know anybody who doesn't like seafood.
Ma'am, you know why I say no one likes seafood? Because, ma'am, which South Africans in their right minds would go buy seafood if you have a braai stand? You have meat. Go buy meat on the braai stand.
I mean, I get it, but like meat sometimes it's great, don't get me wrong, but you can't have it all the time. Like seafood is great. Seafood is great. Like when you go out and you get those prawns and they're all juicy and buttery and oh my
But,
gosh.
ma'am, I haven't had seafood, so that's why. But then,
Okay, that makes
by the
sense.
looks of it, nah, it's not giving anything.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Shady. Shady's bringing us some fried octopus. That's funny. Okay, so Italy is giving beef. Personally, the only beef thing I really like is mince because, like, I can't cook steaks at home. Like, it just doesn't come out right. It always comes out like super hard. So I'm like, I don't know, that's just for when I go out. If I'm talking about at home, what I would keep, I am keeping, I want to say chicken because I feel like you could do a lot of stuff with chicken, but I don't know. Anyways, we're moving on. We have our South African desserts. Liaho, it's food again. I'm sorry, this whole one is food.
Nah, it's fine, ma'am. It's always food, ma'am. But, ma'am, I'm actually gonna say Malva pudding, ma'am. I just like it, ma'am. I like it.
Same.
Yeah, ma'am. Gotta be that one.
My two favorites here is peppermint tart and malva pudding. So I'm fighting between which one to keep, but I
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
know.
Yes, ma'am.
I
Same,
don't-
actually, same.
Like malva pudding is good for when it's cold, and then peppermint tart is good for when it's hot.
True, true, true.
I don't know.
Yeah, ma'am.
But I'll just go with your choice. I'll let you make the choice for me, Liaho. So we're keeping malva pudding.
Okay, cool, ma'am. Thank you.
Itandile answered. Unati, do you want to answer this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep I would keep a trifle. Like
Okay.
not the
Why?
fruit showing on the picture, but like you know when they layer it with chocolate and like you know the different I don't know. But like my aunt makes it like with chocolate and biscuits and stuff, so
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah, everybody makes trifle different. When I was looking for a picture to include, I was like looking for ages because I was like, which one looks the most like a South African trifle? But I couldn't find one because everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, trifle, I get it. A lot of people like trifle. Who's next? Shady, you can answer this one, or you can answer the next one. You let me know what you want to do.
Ma'am, I'll answer the next one.
Okay, then Itanile, you can answer this one. Itanile. Okay, or not. We're moving on. Oh, it wasn't all. I forgot, Liako. I thought it was all food. Oh my gosh. I thought this one was gonna be the one with like KFC, Steers, and McDonald's, and I don't know when
Ish,
that
ma'am,
one.
yeah. So,
Sorry,
ma'am,
but
should I? So,
answer,
ma'am,
yeah,
should I?
answer.
Okay, ma'am, yeah. Let me not answer now. Let me not answer now. Should I answer all?
Mhm.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, school bag. Ish. Ma'am, I think it actually has to be school bag, ma'am. Ma'am, it's gotta be, ma'am.
Liako, I have to ask you, you're keeping your school bag. What are you gonna put in your school bag without textbooks, stationery, or lunch?
Ish, that's the thing, ma'am. But next thing, ma'am, like when we have our stationery, ma'am, like we have to hold it now with our hands, or we have to get a bucket or something.
Yeah, I mean, I know so many people who just never had pencil cases and just kept all their stationery in their like blazer pockets, you know?
Ish, ma'am, but I don't know, but ish, this is tough actually. But I also need a backpack. Man, this is tough, ma'am. This is tough. I don't know, ma'am. Cause, ma'am, I'm actually fighting, ma'am, with stationery and school bag. Whew, yeah.
Yako, you can't take a school bag because you're gonna take a school bag and you're gonna carry nothing in it.
Yeah, that's basically true, ma'am. Basically, yeah. So, ma'am, I actually have to stay stationary, ma'am. Because, yeah, we need my pencils and all that stuff. I can get a bucket or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You can bring like a wheelbarrow to school and just, like wheel it
Something
around.
like that, ma'am. Something like that, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Liako.
Thanks, ma'am.
Unati's keeping lunch. Unati said, you know what? I can't starve. I can't starve. Unati, I feel you. I feel you. Okay, Shady, you wanted to answer this one as well?
Ma'am, I'm also keeping lunch because food is fuel. Food is fuel.
I get it. So you're not gonna make notes.
Nope. I'll make notes on my tablet, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you're smart. You're smart.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fair enough, Shady. And then Itandile, I'm actually gonna give you a chance again to answer if you're still here. You didn't answer the last one.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I don't carry lunch. My school bag is always light. There's something called a token bag. Stationery, I have a blazer for that. So I'm keeping textbooks.
I agree.
I'm keeping
Um,
textbooks. Because I have a blazer for stationery. I have
but
a
you're not
bag.
gonna have stationery. You're not gonna have stationery.
Ma'am, I'll borrow someone else's stationery. But
Okay,
I'm keeping textbooks. I need life.
same. I also would keep textbooks because I don't know about your teachers, but when I was in school, I had to teach myself a lot of the time.
Yes,
So
ma'am, especially fourth term because like they all with the grade 12s and y'all invisible. They step on your foot. It's like you're invisible.
uh, I'm reading the chat. Yeah, literally, no, I get it. I don't know so much about the matrix, but I just know like I never understood the way my teachers taught me. I like learned in a very specific way. So not to say that my teachers were bad or anything, but they obviously teach stuff once and then they move on. And I'm like, yo, bro, like I don't know what's going on. So I literally had to teach myself. So I need my textbooks to learn from. Um,
Wow,
yeah.
man.
Ma'am, what are
That's
you gonna
rude.
carry textbooks with?
Like I don't have to bring them to school. I'll leave them at home because I'm not carrying them around. But As long
Okay.
as I know I have my textbooks, I'll be
Shady,
fine.
at least we can carry one textbook per day and we done.
Yeah,
No, but we
actually.
have multiple subjects in a day, so you're gonna carry maths, English, Afrikaans, all of them. Ah, guys.
No,
And
we'll pick
plus,
like
man, we
one
have
per
7
day.
subjects.
Okay, guys.
Shady, I'm sorry. I can go without lunch during the day. Like, as soon as I get home, I'll eat. But textbooks, no. I need to teach myself. So,
Ma'am, I have a
mhm.
question. Is the
Yes.
normal, is like, do y'all follow the rule that dietitians put, like, you're supposed to eat 3 times a day and stuff?
I mean, sometimes I do eat 3 times a day, but like, if you mean like with the food pyramid stuff, no, no, I don't follow those rules.
Wow, ma'am.
Do you? Bree eats once a day. Bree, you should try eating more. Definitely try eating more. Okay, so we're looking at this diagram, and I want us to find the diameter of the circle. I'm lost. Can somebody help me? Guys, please back to maths because I don't know what to do. I don't know. Ethan, raise your hand up to teach me.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me what to do?
Okay. So to be able to find the diameter, ma'am, you know what I see? I see
Mm-hmm.
a right angled triangle in this whole half circle. So you know what I'm gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use Pythag. I'm gonna use Pythagorean theorem, and I am basically gonna say r squared is equals to c squared plus d squared. And then, ma'am, I don't have hypotenuse, which is our diameter, so I'm just gonna leave r squared. And my reason though is Pythag. And then, ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna substitute my c with 5 squared and my d with 12 squared.
Mm-hmm.
And then, ma'am, I'm gonna say r squared is equals to 25 plus 144. Then r
Mm-hmm.
squared is equals to 169. We square root both sides and r squared. So therefore r is equals to 13.
Okay. So you did well. This is 13. And I would actually give you full marks if I was marking this. But just to be like extra sure when we answer questions like this, it's telling us to find the diameter of the circle. So we found R, but you're like, I'm going to be like, if I was like a really mean teacher, I was going to be like, okay, what does R have to do with anything? You know? So at the end, you will then conclude R is equals
Equals
to
to diameter.
diameter, which equals 13 centimeters.
Ma'am, you can't be a mean teacher.
Yeah, I said I would give you full marks, but my job is to prepare you for teachers that are slightly more strict. So that's what we're doing. We are always going to take the extra step to make sure we get all of our marks. We don't want to lose silly marks. Okay, guys, I want you to use your reactions. Let me know. Did you follow what we just did? Does this make sense? I hope somebody different is going to teach me in the next one. I think I'm going to ban Itandile from answering. Sorry.
What? Ma'am, why are you banning me?
You answered like 4 questions, so we need the
Oh,
rest
and
of the
then
class.
I don't feel like answering this one. I'm very sorry.
Okay,
But I'm gonna
guys, this
but
is
I'm gonna
fun
try.
geometry, so I hope somebody will answer. We have unknowns A, B, C, D, and E. Anybody wanna take a go at it? Anybody? Liako, your time to shine is now. It's coming and it's going because this is the last question of the class. Itandile, you raised a hand. Do you want to ask a question?
Ma'am, there's no option to answer at least the easy one that I can see.
No, Itandile, you are banned. I'm sorry.
Wow, I'm bad. I'm gonna go cry.
That's like a good achievement. It's a good achievement to get in class. You can
I'm,
answer only one, Brie.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
Sorry, Itandile.
Brie, good luck. We're rooting for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
And
Brie, which one are we doing?
the A.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna say 56. Oh wait, can I start with the variable instead? Which
Mm-hmm.
is A plus 56 plus 63, which is equals to 180. My reason for this sum of angles in a triangle.
Beautiful.
And then we're gonna say A plus 119 equals to 180.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna say A equals 180 minus 119.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna say A equals to 61.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, yeah, A equals to 61.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Brie. So we have now solved our A, and A is 61 degrees. Now we're looking at B. Anybody know how we're going to do B? I'm seeing two sets of parallel lines. So these are parallel, and that whole one is parallel. I'm seeing another set of parallel lines, which are these. Sorry, I'm not the greatest at drawing straight lines downwards. What I'm thinking is, I'm seeing like, guys, also by the way, whenever you get questions like this, my advice is always solve them in alphabetical order. So let's go A, B, C, D, E. Usually they label it so that that's the easiest way to find them. You don't have to, but the easiest way is always doing it alphabetically. Now I'm looking at B. I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing a good old Z/N over here. Liajo, I'm gonna ask you to answer this one.
Really, ma'am? I'm not really that type geometry answering guy, ma'am. Really, ma'am? Really?
Liajo, you're gonna become that guy today.
Really, ma'am?
When we have a Z, Liajo, what am I dealing with from these letters? What's the name of those angles that we deal with?
Ma'am, wait. If I'm trying to think, ma'am. Can I?
I'm giving you a hint.
A, ma'am.
It starts with an A. All
Ma'am.
I'm giving you the word.
Ulterior angles, ma'am.
No, alternate.
Alternates, ma'am. Yo, ma'am.
Liajo, I'm actually like, I feel crazy right now that you don't know this reason. Shame, Liajo. I'm not shouting at you, but that's crazy. When are you writing your exams?
Well, ma'am, I'm actually done, ma'am.
I don't know what to say to you. How did you write your exam not knowing these reasons?
Ish, ma'am.
Okay, Liacho. So when we have a Z or N, we call them alternate angles. Do you know what the rule is about alternate angles? Are they equal? Do they add up to 180? Do they add up to 90, 360? What's the rule with alternate angles?
They equal, ma'am.
They equal. So this angle and this angle is alternate angles. So tell me what my statement should be. What equation, what's my answer going to be that I write here?
Okay, ma'am. Just give me a few seconds, ma'am. Just wait. Let me think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ma'am. Isn't it B? I'm just trying to think, ma'am. Isn't it
Yeah.
B 61 equals 61?
B equals 61. That's super correct. Not so bad, Liaho. And what's my reason?
Ma'am, wait. Let me think quickly. Alternate, ma'am. Alternate.
There you go. Alternate angles. And what else am I missing, Liaho? When I use fun angles, what else do I need?
Wait, ma'am. Did you stop sharing, ma'am? Because I cannot see your screen now.
No, I did not stop sharing. That's weird. Okay, it's okay, Liaho. We are going to finish up because I just saw the time. That's time flew. Liaho, what we were missing is our parallel line. So we had to say AB is parallel to, you could say DC or you could say EC. It's all the same line. So I'll just go with DC. And that was that, Liaho.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Liaho, I hope you work on your geometry.
Yes, ma'am. Because ma'am, I'm actually terrible at geometry, ma'am. I'm only good at algebra.
But when we started geometry, Liaho, you knew what was going on.
Kinda, ma'am. I kinda knew, ma'am, but also at the same time, no, I didn't at the same time.
Okay. I want you to remember to ask questions then, okay?